Welcome to the Noles Podcast. I am your host, Gregory McCoy. This is episode number 22, December 22nd, 2019. This podcast is by a fan for fans. I am not a journalist. I am not a reporter. I am not an insider. I do not work for a website. 90% of my information is in my opinion. Other information comes off the internet. I got a couple of different things I wanted to talk about today, but starting with my usual format, spotlighting one offensive player and one defensive player. And I'm going to start with defense today. That player is going to be Jaden Lars would-be. Tremendous talent. Should have never been used as a linebacker. Previous staff made a mistake by switching him to that position. Coming out of high school, had Derwin James / Jalen Ramsey type ability. They need to move him back to strong safety if he can fully recover from the knee injury. If he can't fully recover from the knee injury, he might be stuck at linebacker. Great tackler, very smart, rarely out of position. If he can fully recover from the injury, he could be an all-time Florida State great. Played great as a linebacker. Overall, this guy puts the team first. That's why he unselfishly made the switch from safety to linebacker. If he plays safety, I compare him to Derwin James. If he plays linebacker, I compare him to a bigger version of Shaq Thompson for the for the Carolina Panthers. If you go back and you watch Jaden Lars would-be's high school tape, I mean, this guy was a phenomenon coming out of high school, man. I was just like, okay, we went from Jalen Ramsey to Derwin James. Tavares McFadden had like one or two good years, or just that 1 year, his sophomore year, where I thought he was going to take off, but he didn't. And then we went to Jaden Lars would-be, and I just thought he was going to be the next great. And then they moved him to linebacker. I know we had some issues at linebacker his freshman year, and a little bit of his sophomore year. I felt like Jaleel McCray showed something, but I think if Nasruddin stays and both of those guys got injured, if they both fully recover and they can start next season, that'd be a heck of a tandem at safety. Then you could move Akeem Dent back to his natural position, which is corner. Another move that left your head scratching, moving Akeem Dent to safety. He sucked at free safety. He's a cornerback. Again, everything depends on him fully recovering from this knee injury. If he can do that, man, the sky's the limit. I love this kid, man. I just think that, again, Willie Taggart and his staff just, moved this guy from outside linebacker to middle linebacker. And that's just, he did it because he's an unselfish guy, but it just wasn't his position. My next guy is going to be Anthony Grant. Watching tape on him, this guy can play, man. I love Cam Akers and Kalen LeBourne, but this guy should have got more carries. He has an explosive first step. He gets on top of defenders really quick, meaning when he gets the ball, I mean, he's like right. It's hard for the defender to do anything because he's accelerated so fast. Runs with power. Has nice hands. He can return kicks, punt, and kickoff. Needs to juke more. He's the type of running back that accelerates on contact. But in the grand scheme of things, like I said before, as a running back, you only get so many hits in this game. So you got to preserve your body a little bit. Long strider in the open field. Grant could be the starter next season. He just needs to get his mind right. He left the team. He came back. He tweeted that he can't wait to get back to Florida State, and I hope he comes back, man. I think this guy is a tremendous talent. Like I said, he should have got more carries. My NFL comparison to him is going to be Melvin Gordon out with the Los Angeles Chargers. Same type of running style. I just don't see how this guy right here is not the starter next season. I don't think Kalen LeBourne just had knee surgery a few days ago, so it's going to take him a while to recover from that. This is going to be the guy for spring ball unless they go get a running back for the February signing day, or they get a JUCO or something to that effect. So I hope that this guy again can get his mind right and come in and be the tremendous running back that he has the potential to be. My next topic, Willie Taggart. In my opinion, Willie Taggart sabotaged the 2019 season. I know a couple of episodes ago I said I was going to get off Willie Taggart, but I just need to get this off my chest, man. So I got the top 10 reasons why we suck this year, pretty much. First of all, just the weird, mottos. Blame no one, make no excuses, do something. And all you did was blame people and make excuses. You did nothing. This was a weird guy after every press conference. Have a good day if you want to. Like, what was that? I didn't get that. So that was number 10 and number 9. Number 8, clueless on game day and in post-game interviews. This guy just looked clueless on the sidelines. Challenging stuff that happened on the field, timeout usage. He just looked clueless. Personnel decisions, putting the wrong players on the field. It was just crazy, man. That's number 7. That was number 8. Put talented players in wrong position. See Akeem Dent. See Jaden Lars Woodby. See Janoris Robinson. See Joshua Kando. Just 4 examples of players that defensively, I ain't even going to talk about offense, that were put in wrong positions. Number 8 and number 6 is kind of the same thing, but for number 6, bad in-game decisions. Again, just like I said, I don't know if he was doing it on purpose. I hope he wasn't, but this guy just looked clueless. Just with some of the bonehead stuff he was doing. Picked bad coordinators and bad coaches. One thing I have to give Norvell credit for, he picked guys that he knows, that he's familiar with. He didn't go out and pick a whole bunch of guys that he don't know. And that's what Willie Taggart did. Walt Bell, Harlan Barnett. I forget his offensive line coach that first year. For the most part on offense, most of the coaches and a couple on defense, he had no familiarity with, and that can lead to dysfunction. Refused to play players that were better than the guys he picked. Hornibrook, Abdul Bello, Juwan Williams. He kept putting Dontavius Jackson out there when he was obviously a liability. That's all I can really think of at the second. He didn't play Anthony Grant. Okay? Just total misusage of players. Anthony Grant is a talent. Like I've already previously stated, he should have been on the field. Played Alex Hornibrook. To me, now I went back and I watched the Wisconsin-Miami Bowl game from a couple years ago. He had a tremendous offensive line, but he wasn't asked to throw downfield like he was. He just pop gun arm, man. Even in that Wisconsin game, he looked pretty good, but he still had a pop gun arm, man. Meddled with coordinators while doing play calling. In particular, Kendall Browse. Kendall Browse has a history for running his own stuff. You knew that when you brought him in, but you still meddled in the offensive play calling. Okay? I'm assuming that Browse wanted James Blackman to play. Taggart wanted Hornibrook to play. So there you go. If you're going to bring a guy in and pay him $1 million, let him coordinate the offense. Switched, and this is the number one reason I didn't keep up with the numbers. My apologies, but this is the number one reason I think he sabotaged us. Switched from a 4-2-5 to a 3-4. I'm not going to say Harlan Barnett is a great defensive coordinator, but historically, when he was at Michigan State, he ran a 4-2-5, which is what the personnel on his team could fit into, not a 3-4. You had Janoris Robinson and Joshua Kando dropping back in coverage. No, they are pass rushers. That was a mistake. Okay? You had Jaden Lars Woodby playing middle linebacker. He's not a linebacker. He's a free safety or a strong safety. Probably a strong safety. So that's all I had to say on that. Top 10 teams with best uniforms. And I like multiple color uniforms. I don't like the SEC where they just have 2 sets of uniforms. I like multiple uniforms. And my number one is probably going to, create some comments, but I'm just saying for the color scheme, not anything else. So my number 10 is Baylor. My number 9 is TCU. My number 8 is Oregon. My number 7 is Tulane. My number 6 is Arizona State. My number 5 is Tennessee. They do go multiple. They go all white, all orange, and they go all gray. So I like that scheme. I like that color scheme. North Carolina. Number 3, LSU. Same thing with LSU. They got the white helmets and the white pants with the purple shirt. I love it. Number 2, Florida State. Obviously, you knew they was going to be in here. Number 1, Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. The old school uniforms with the rainbow on the side. And the lime, neon green jerseys. Phenomenal. And there's no hidden message behind that, because we know how people like to joke around. No hidden messages behind that. That was their uniform back in the day. Loved them then. So, let's see. And my last topic is going to be best bowl game swag. Okay. So this is obviously based on the 2018 bowl season, because they haven't listed the 2019 bowl swag items yet. So if you go to the Arizona Bowl, I think their best item is you get Beats earbuds, Quick Lane Bowl, $175 Best Buy gift card, Alamo Bowl, $425 Amazon gift card. Fiesta Bowl, which is sponsored by PlayStation, you get a PS4 console. Peach Bowl, $300 Visa gift card. Camping World Bowl, $400 Best Buy gift card. Belk Bowl, you get a $450 shopping spree at Belk. College football playoff. I mean, there's stuff. It was so much stuff on there. I couldn't even name it all. They get like a gift suite, which is valued at $550. They get a personalized bobblehead, just to name a few. Cheez-It Bowl, $400 gift card. Red Box Bowl, Nintendo Switch Lite. And if you don't know what a gift suite is, it's basically like a portable store for players. $550 worth of gifts given to players. So you can see that the swag that these guys get from these bowl games is just crazy, man. And it still doesn't replace the billions of dollars that the NCAA makes off these guys, but at least they get a little something like the actual cash and the Visa gift cards. So that's going to conclude episode number 22. Once again, this podcast is available on YouTube under Noles Podcast, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify Podcast. Thank you for the tremendous support. Thank you for the people that have followed this podcast thus far. And I hope I get many more subscribers. And go Noles.